In a historic ruling, a UN-backed court in Central African Republic on Monday convicted 3 militiamen of crimes against humanity and handed them jail terms ranging from 20 years to life. They were accused of taking part in an attack by the 3R armed group in May 2019, in which 46 villagers were massacred. This is an historic event for the Central African Republic and for the victims. We also want the Special Criminal Court to continue to track down certain big fish. There are others who are in the city and we need to get our hands on them. But congratulations to this court for this decision. All the organizations of the society that I coordinate and the coalition of civil society organizations and the Special Criminal Court will applaud this decision. The 3 were acquitted on charges of torture committed as a crime of war. Defense attorney said the defendant would file an appeal against the ruling. They have 3 days in which to submit their petition. The alleged atrocities were committed during the regime of former President François Bozizé.
The European Union has signed 6 financing agreements with Mozambique. They are worth more than $148 million for development programs in the country. The documents were signed Monday in the opening day of the ACP-EU Joint Parliamentary Assembly, which brings together in Maputo members of the European Parliament and the ACP, which represents 79 countries in Africa, the Caribbean and the Pacific. Included in the agreement are measures to complement the EU's actions in peace building and security in Cabo Delgado, as emphasized by the Vice President of the European Commission responsible for democracy and demography. We know, Mr. President of the Republic, that the challenge is very complex. We recognize all the efforts that have been made. In the European Parliament, we have worked consistently with the other European institutions to ensure that the EU's participation lives up to its political and humanitarian principles and values. Very significant steps have been taken in this direction, and I believe that further steps will be taken soon. The areas covered by the Funding 6 include education, water, sanitation and energy efficiency. Since 2017, Cabo Delgado has been threatened by extremist groups, and although progress has been made, insecurity remains. Somali students have begun to visit hospitals to donate food and water as well as blood to the victims of a twin bombing in the country's capital. More than 100 people died in the blast near the Somali Education Ministry, Mogadishu. As young Somali people, especially university students, this blast hurt us a lot. Therefore, the universities and schools were closed so that the students are able to take part in blood donations and other rescue efforts for the victims. On Monday, Somalia's President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud issued an urgent plea for international help. The World Health Organization has said it was ready to help the government treat the wounded and provide trauma care. When we open the hospital doors for blood donors and give them free blood bags, some 2,000 people, mainly young men, politicians and other locals, the only thing they wanted was to donate their blood. We ran tests on their blood samples and sent them to the hospitals in need for the blood donations. Saturday's attack, which also wounded more than 300 people, was claimed by the Al-Shabaab jihadist group and was the deadliest in the fragile Horn of Africa nation in 5 years. In a global world connected by the internet, computer literacy is an essential skill to increase employability. One woman is on a mission to make sure that children in rural Kenya don't miss out on this important education. Nelly Chebwai is the founder of TechLead Africa, an NGO that refurbishes laptops and brings them to schools in remote communities to teach kids IT skills.
We collect computer donations from companies and institutions. We import them into Kenya. We have a refurbishment center here where we wipe the computers, install our own custom operating system, and then we deploy into schools. We also partner with youth in the community that we train to run our classes. So our classes are part of the school curriculum.
The students at Zawadi Yetu Academy in Mogotio, Baringo County, East Kenya, are the IT specialists of the future. That's thanks to the TechLead Africa project that uses digital skills to unlock global opportunities.
I've been teaching kids how to develop websites and how they can add some goodies on their website like CSS, images, videos, and audios. This is something that will help kids know how they can brand themselves online and how they can do business online, because that's where the world is heading.
In this class, I've been taught how to use Visual Studio Code to make my own website using HTML and CSS. Then I've been taught about OpenShot and about NASA to make my own rocket when I grow up. So I hope this class will help me in my future to be an IT expert.
Sheboy offers the computers for free, but local schools have the responsibility of paying the teacher, which costs parents around $1 per day, in addition to the $37 per term.
Because we're living in a world where we're now going to digital currency. Things like bitcoins, cryptocurrency, fintech, basically financial technology. Should these kids begin these particular skills at this age, I'm sure by the time they are actually out of university, they will be implementing these skills and not looking for jobs like most of us do.
The program is currently running in 13 schools across Kenya, equipping 5,000 students from the ages of 4 to 12 years with skills to unlock their future.
More than 20 international delegations of professional dancers took part in the 17th edition of the World Salsa Festival. Spectacular dance moves and strong beat animated the two-day event in Cali, Western Colombia. Amateur competition also attracted many dancers. In his black and white tuxedo, Andres Leudo champions dancing as the best sports routine.
I'm 57 years old. I jump, laugh, and dance as if I were 15. To me, that's life, and that's what I recommend to the whole world. Dance salsa. Don't pay for an EPS health plan.
Salsa is extremely popular in South America and the Caribbean. The Cuban salsa style or the salsa rueda are just two of the 6 main different styles that exist. Here people come from all over the world to learn our style. There are different ways of dancing salsa, but our Cali style has taken the world by storm. In addition to the dance, the music was also celebrated. Salsa orchestras battled to come off as the best in their categories. Solo as well as couple competitors from Latin America, Asia or Europe showed off their best moves. In Switzerland, people mostly know how to dance salsa cubana and LA-style salsa. And I am one of the only people in the French-speaking part of Switzerland who teaches salsa caleña, which is also known as Colombian salsa. Little by little it is growing, and I am very happy to be part of that process and to show the joy and the richness of dancing salsa caleña. 111 elite dancers were awarded in the different categories, in which over 1,000 competed to be crowned the best salsa dancers on the planet. Nearly 30,000 people attended the closing ceremony in late October.